A woman is dead and a man and 2 children are hurt after a shooting in southeast Portland. Officers first responded to reports of a crash near 128th and Foster around 10:30 last night. On their way there, gunfire was reported in the area. All 4 victims were found inside the car. This is a developing story. Check KATU.com for new information throughout the day. That shooting was just the latest in a string of gun violence. On Saturday evening, 1 person was killed and 5 others were shot at Normandale Park. 24 hours later, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler responded. Last night, he tweeted a thank you to Police Chief Chuck Lavelle, investigators, and other officers for their work. He also wrote in part that collective sadness and frustration adds to his commitment to reducing gun violence. Sherwood police say 2 kids were hit and killed by a driver. It happened just before 7 last night near Southwest Eddy and Trailblazer Place. We're told officers arrived in under 2 minutes. They tried to save the kids, but unfortunately they didn't make it. It is not clear if the driver stayed at the scene. Let's get a check on the weather from Nikki Torres.
Temperatures starting off for Monday morning in the upper 30s, low 40s. We are looking at 44 degrees for the afternoon high temperature today in Portland. That is below average for this time of year. Rain showers will continue all day for today in a very on and off pattern, and possible thunderstorms into this afternoon and evening. We are going to see temperatures drop overnight to the 20s towards midweek.
Do you believe there's still a risk to the public in that area?
Can I definitively say there is no danger? No.
There's more than one kind of gun violence in Portland.
We want this to stop. It's enough killing.
Another weekend of violence in Portland, a deadly mass shooting and a deadly officer-involved shooting just a couple of hours apart. 2 people were killed and several others wounded. Hours after both shootings, we still don't have answers from police. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Kissel. We have live team coverage for you tonight. K2's Megan Allison is following that deadly mass shooting in Northeast Portland. But first, we want to get to K2's Francis Lynn for an update on that deadly officer-involved shooting from last night. Francis?
Police still haven't told us why officers shot and killed a person, why they were involved in a shooting. But here's what I learned from a press conference. Police say this happened at the 900 block of Southwest Broadway Drive. Officers were initially sent on a disturbance call, and while they were on their way to the scene, they received reports that shots have been fired. Central Precinct set up a perimeter and began to investigate this after they already activated a shelter-in-place order.
During the course of this investigation, an officer-involved shooting happened. Officers had previously put in an order to shelter in place. And they were able to lift that after the officer-involved incident. It's tragic for everyone involved, but it's something we're still working through here.
You said an officer-involved shooting happened. Is it possible to get any more detail, like what happened, what led to the shooting, why did it happen?
Really, it very complicated and started off with what sounds like a completely separate incident, a disturbance call that may or may not have been related. We really have very few details at this point, and detectives, investigators are doing their best to work through it to find out more.
Take a look at this map and you can see that nearly every region is seeing hospitals with more than 90% capacity. The worst is Southwest Washington, sitting at 98% capacity. Despite that high occupancy, the ban on elective and non-urgent surgeries in Washington has been lifted. Now hospitals must begin to clear away the backlog of tens of thousands of cases. KOMO's Suzanne Fawn checked in with hospitals and patients to see what they're saying about all of this today. Suzanne?
So since the beginning of the pandemic, the UW medical system has had about 18,000 backlog procedures. Health experts say it's going to take a while to clear it.
My jaw right here swelled up so bad that I couldn't breathe.
Cassie Johnson ended up in the ER and having emergency surgery last summer after her tonsillectomy was postponed twice. Several times during the pandemic, the state put a ban on elective surgeries and put non-urgent procedures on hold.
I'm just lucky I got the care that I did when I got it.
Noah Atkins, who loves to go horseback riding, hiking, and camping, is still waiting for surgery on his foot.
I can only stand on the foot for so long because of the osteoarthritis.
His surgery on February 2nd at Harborview was postponed. But now patients in Washington state may begin getting the surgeries they've been waiting for. There is a concern, though.
You have new people coming in for surgery, plus you have the past list of people that do need the surgery. So I think it's going to put a lot of pressure on the doctors, the surgeons, the nursing.
Dr. John Lang with UW Medicine describes what needs to happen to clear the backlog.
We think we have about 18,000 across the system. And again, it's about triaging and prioritizing. We're going to be able to address our outpatients, patients that don't need inpatient surgery very, very quickly.
UW Medicine will have Saturday surgeries. Cassie Sauer with Washington State Hospital Association says it's going to take a while to clear the backlog.
Joint replacements and heart valve replacements and colostomy reversals and surgeries to remove slow-growing cancerous tumors. So all those things have been backlogged. It's a really serious situation.